What if I told you that you've been playing GTA 5 for many years, I don't know, over a decade depending on when you started playing this game, and most likely you're doing that final mission of killing Steve Haines in the wrong way? That's right, my friends, in today's video we're going for another video of things you didn't know in GTA 5, and there's a lot of stuff I'm sure you're going to enjoy, so go ahead and like and subscribe right at the beginning, you who already know the channel and everything. Let's get started. To start off this video with a bang, I'm gonna drop a bombshell here, man. Everyone knows that boats are used to travel on the water in the game. Boats, yachts, life rafts, anything like that is used to travel on the water in the game. And you won't be able to drive them on land. These vehicles weren't made for that. However, something that I think nobody knew, man, or at least almost nobody, let's say 99% of people at least, it's that you don't need to be in open sea or a river for the boat to work. If you simply have a strip of water, you know, like a little stream flowing there, the boat will work normally as if it were, I don't know, an open sea, you know? And man, it can be any boat. The boat looks really weird, man. It looks really ugly. But check out how cool it is that I'm showing you. The second stop here is a fact about missions that I think a lot of people didn't know. When we're doing the Crystal Maze mission, we go to a part of a mountain, a rock, something like that, to trigger the cutscene. And we usually go to that location because it's marked on the map. There's a yellow dot there. And then when we get there, a cutscene will play, showing the O'Neill brothers, the guy watching over the house and everything else. So far, no problem. What a lot of people didn't know here, there's something really cool in this mission. Regardless of the location you try to access this house, like regardless of the direction you come from to reach this house, there will be a different cutscene for each one. So if you come from the front, it will be one. If you come from the left, it will be another. If you come from behind the house, it will be another. In fact, if you come by plane or helicopter, there will also be a scene, you know, like a cutscene showing from above that area and such. It's pretty crazy, man. I had no idea that there was something like this. I thought the cutscene only played where the yellow dot was, and outside the yellow dot, it was straight into the shootout. Another thing here, which is really quick, okay? It's just a little function that is just for you to know. I think it will be very useful for those who play GTA Online. When we press here with the pistol, for example, to shoot, right? I'm shooting here at the wall so you guys know. But if you press to shoot and hold R2 for it to keep shooting, it will shoot there, I don't know, with an interval of a second and a half. I didn't exactly count how long it takes. However, if instead of holding the shoot button, you keep pressing the button repeatedly, you know, like for it to shoot several shots in a row, this shot will be much faster. So a tip there for those who only have a pistol, maybe in GTA Online, and need to shoot almost at the speed of a machine gun. Press the shoot button repeatedly. The fourth crazy stop that many people don't know is the following. You've probably tried to steal a car from an NPC on the street, and that NPC simply ran you over or drove away with the vehicle, right? Sometimes you see a cool car there, you try to hold up that NPC to steal the vehicle, and you couldn't because either the guy ran you over or he reversed and fled. However, there's a little trick here that you can do, so you never go through this again and always manage to steal the vehicle. Instead of aiming the gun at the NPC and keeping it pointed, which will make him react in some way, simply aim the gun at the NPC like really quickly, release the aim and press to get into the vehicle. Automatically your character will go to the vehicle, and it won't give the guy time to run away and such, right? Like he'll just get out of the car and you'll be able to access it. This helps a lot, and it's something that few people know. Going back to talking about missions, there's a cool thing here in the minor turbulence mission that I think some people didn't know, but here's the deal. In the minor turbulence mission, after we manage to steal the plane and we have to get out of the plane, right? You have to take that car and all to get out, or you can also jump out. One thing that many people don't know is the following. If you go to the edge of the plane and don't jump and then run down and jump back into the plane, the physics will throw you out. It's a pretty cool effect, like it's a really simple thing, but it's really cool to see this effect happening in practice. Still talking about missions, we're going to talk about one of the worst missions in the game. For me, honestly, it might be the worst mission in the game, which is the mission scouting the port. It's really boring, and one of the very boring parts here is that right when we arrive at the port of Los Santos, we have to keep walking, following Floyd, and Floyd walks really slow. This is to give time for the dialogues to happen and for us to contextualize the mission. One cool thing you can do in case you're replaying GTA 5 again and you're going to repeat this mission, or you're trying to get gold, I don't know. You have a very limited time window, a very short time, where you can grab and get into that truck you see here on the side. So you arrive, try to go straight to that truck, and if you can do that in time, you can get that truck. And with the truck, you can push Floyd, because Floyd at that moment, he becomes immortal. It's pretty cool. And then with that, you can take Floyd forward, greatly advancing the time of this mission and making it much less boring and massive. 9. And speaking of skipping things we don't want to see in GTA 5 and so on, whenever we enter Los Santos Customs, I think regardless of which one it is, there's that small animation, that little cutscene of the car entering Los Santos Customs, which I don't know, must take like 2-3 seconds or so. But for those who have seen it countless times, it must be a bit boring. One thing that many people didn't know you can do to kind of skip that cutscene is simply to switch weapons inside the vehicle as you're entering Los Santos Customs. Then that cutscene won't play, and then you'll go straight to the customization menu and everything. Now I'm going to show you guys something really bizarre, man. I don't know if it's a bug, I also don't know if it happens in all versions of GTA 5, but I think you'll like to see this. Please, anyone playing on PS3 and Xbox 360, comment if it works, alright? So you've probably stolen a tank in GTA 5 at some point, at least I think so, and then you shot everyone using that cannon and causing destruction in the middle of the city. Everywhere you shoot, it will explode, and that's all good. However, did you know that specifically cannon shots don't work on glass? If you go, for example, to a bus stop which has that glass part and shoot with the tank cannon, the shot will be deflected, man. It will go far away. The same thing works on guard booths or other mirrored surfaces, right? It doesn't work like that on buildings. Or on buildings, the shot works normally. But mirrored surfaces like guard booths, bus stops, and things like that will always reflect the cannon shot. Wow, it's a weird thing, man. 11. Coming back to talk about missions, there's something here that I think a lot of people may have never done, right? I don't know, I don't even know how people discover these things. I keep researching on the internet, I keep finding various bugs, but I don't know how the first user discovered something like this, which is the following. In the mission By the Book, when we start this mission with Michael, Trevor appears taking a dump in the corner, and I think I've already shown this in some videos for you guys. However, the cool part here is the following. If you, before starting this mission with Michael, go with Trevor to Trevor's house and put on his hunting pants, if you, after putting on the pants and starting the mission by the book with Michael, Trevor, he will appear in the mission normally, but he will appear without his feet. I don't know why this happens, but like he really stays without his feet there, and he will stay that way until you complete the mission or fail it. Kind of bizarre, right? And now I'm going to talk about something that you can see in a mission, but you can also see outside of the mission as well, which I have a video on the channel teaching this. Basically, here in the Paleto Bay heist, there's something that almost no one notices when playing, because the focus of the thing is the robbery and the shooting, right? But here's the deal. When you enter the vault, there's a sexual Easter egg, right? Inside the vault, we find a pair of panties on the floor. I don't know if you guys had noticed that, but besides that pair of panties on the floor, which I had mentioned before, if you zoom in on the boxes of the vaults that are in here, you will see that the number on all the vaults is 69. In other words, Rockstar making sexual Easter eggs for everyone, right? Like everywhere in the game, then you see written 69, and here in the bank, even though it's very discreet, you can also see. Now let's talk about the mission with Steve Haines, where at the end you choose option C, where we have to kill Steve Haines, and usually we stay far away with a sniper to take out this guy without drawing attention, and we wait for a long time, because in theory if we get too close the cops might be alerted. Well, I had already mentioned in another video that besides the sniper, you can also kill him using an RPG, which will trigger a slightly different cutscene, but it's also pretty cool. However, what many people didn't know is that you can get close to Steve Haines here and the mission won't fail. In fact, you can stop right next to him and aim the gun, and you'll see a slightly different NPC reaction, you know, like as if he were just an NPC from the game and all. And even if you shoot him in the head right at that moment, the cutscene will still happen as if you had taken the sniper shot from afar. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea. It's a bit of a glitchy situation. I don't think Rockstar thought that someone would come here and try to do something like that, right? Like right next to Steve Haines himself, but if you try it, you'll see that it works. 14. And finally, a very useful glitch for those who want to stop time at a certain point in the game, right? I don't know, maybe you want to stop time at noon, at midnight, depending on what the person wants to do. But if you play on consoles, you can't like do it in a normal way. There's a really crazy thing, which is a little bug that you can do really quickly to freeze the game at a certain time. Here's how it goes. Take a save game that you want to leave frozen at a certain time. First, save it, right? I don't know, noon, midnight, whatever. Then after you make this save game, you're going to go to the golf club, and then you're going to start a game. When you start the game at the golf club, time will freeze, and then while you're in this game, you press start, go there, and reload the save that you had saved at the time you wanted. If everything goes well, the save you start afterwards, even in free mode and everything else, will have the time fixed from the moment the character appears, right? I don't know, noon, 1 o'clock, and so on, and then you'll be able to play all the time with the game frozen at that time. It's bizarre how much stuff there is in GTA 5 after all this time, and a lot of people still don't know. For example, Wade's hidden secret in one of the dialogues that almost no one noticed in the game. If you want to know, just click here next to the yellow arrow. Man, it's really cool. And you will really enjoy watching this video. That's it, guys. Take care, stay successful, and we'll see you in the next video.